What is up, everyone? It's Justin Parnell back again with another episode of Journey of Discovery, the free-to-play MTG Arena series. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe to the Thinktwice YouTube channel here and leave us a like, a comment, and a share if you can. And of course, if you want to listen to the Thinktwice podcast, search Thinktwice MTG on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, and Spotify. And of course, if you want to support the show, go to patreon.com/ThinktwiceMTG. All right, now, we're going to be playing a little Singleton because it just so happens that there's a free Singleton event on MTG Arena. Now, this is not an event that rewards you with any packs or gold, but it does give you some card rewards, although foolishly they don't show you what the card is, so we just have to assume that it's a Duress, which is an Urza Saga art Duress, and a Galta, the Game Day promo Galta. I have 2 of them, but I want 4. And there's a little bit of time left before Singleton goes away, so we're going to do double Singleton this week for Journey of Discovery. Let's check out the first deck we're going to be playing. All right, so deck number 1 that we're going to be playing on this episode is going to be old classic Jund mid-range. Now, this is built in the way that I would build a commander deck. You have a lot of high-end threats. Haunted Hightower, Karna's Tyrant, Multani, Rakdos, Ravager Worm. This Rakdos that we picked up from a draft a couple of weeks ago. Vraska, Palaka Worm. A lot of ramp. A lot of lockets. Rakdos, Golgari, and Gruul Locket. Chromatic Lantern. Even an Elvis Rejuvenator. A Circuitous Route, and a Raging Raptors if our opponent would like to give us that, as well as some, of course, some mid-range threats. Twilight Prophet, Rekindling Phoenix, Seedkin Commander, Skargan Hellkite, Turn to Dry, and then a bunch of removal. Creature removal, non-creature removal, all sorts of stuff. So this is a very mid-range deck, and then of course we have a nice little captive audience. Captive audience to finish our opponent off. We didn't use any wild cards for this deck, and we essentially have all the lands we need except for an Overgrown Tomb, since we still don't have one in our collection for some reason, because we refuse to open one, and now it's like by principle I don't want to craft one. And I'm not going to craft anything for Singleton. Singleton's a great format where you can always make do with what you have. You don't need to craft anything. No single card is so important that you have to craft it. You can always find something to work with what you have. So Jund is what we're going to be working with for this time, and since we have a lot of Jundy cards, we're going to see what we can do. All right, game 1 on the play. We have 3 lands and a mana rock, a couple of pieces of removal, and a threat. Pretty much how I draw it up every single time. I think it's appropriate that for this event, one, that they have, I think it's great they have Danny Trejo and Day 9 as the little avatars for you, but it's great that you're always Trejo and you're always bashing Sean Plott. Cindervine's already paying dividends, and we're gonna play this Rakdos Locket because I would love to kick this Grow from the Ashes. I could get the Bloodfast. I actually think I do want to do that. I think I want to go ahead and get the Bloodfast, actually, before my opponent can do anything. And I'm totally fine making them essentially take 3 and then trading for one of their cards. I have absolutely no issue doing that. Okay, well, we don't have a kicked Grow from the Ashes, so we're just going to wait until we can do that. Midnight Reaper. Let's go ahead and take care of this. Take care of the Midnight Reaper. Opponent will lose a life draw card. Take a little pressure off us and take care of a premium creature. Alright. Opponent milled their Hydroid Krasis, which is good. Let's go ahead and kick This Grow from the Ashes immediately resolves. That's good. So either our opponent doesn't have a counterspell or doesn't have a counterspell they could play with 1 blue. I guess we'll find that out. Mending and Dominaria. Alright. Well, a milled 2 land's going to probably be getting back the Krasis. Yeah. As expected. Which is fine. Let's go ahead and get a Voltani down. Okay, they did bend both of their Vraskas. That's not what they wanted. Oh, Vraska's Contempt on Multani. That's their 1 exile effect. I have to imagine. Ooh, okay, so this gets them back 2 lands. And then they shuffle their graveyard in. So if we bedevil this, it shuffles in. And then we can play Twilight Prophet. This is going to be large. We'll just play Twilight Prophet. We do not have the Blessing, though. We're blessless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We could get it with Reclamation Sage, but I think it's a pretty likely that we don't untap, but I guess it's worth it in the event that we do. We don't untap with Twilight Prophet. We're probably gonna untap. Just don't think we're gonna untap right now. Well, at least we save this Bedevil from Uldratha. That'll be pretty necessary. Planeswalker land, creature enchantment. I don't think that there's... I mean, they can get back a Swamp and a Pilfering Imp or an Argyl's Bloodfast. Okay, there's the Swamp. Yeah, okay. In that case, we're definitely going to get these out of our hand. Oof. 7. 7's a lot. 7 is a lot. Okay. Let's Eldritch Reborn first and see what our opponent does. We're Eldritch Reborning now because we're going to kill the Uldratha regardless. Okay. We'll just get in with Twilight Prophet. And then in the second main phase, we'll get Uldratha. Opponent will go to 6. And they can certainly Pilfering Imp our captive audience, which I imagine they want to do. Okay, here comes the Krasis. Alright, that means we're going to get to resolve the captive audience, which is great. Well, we'll block the Midnight Reaper. For sure. Opponent's going to have to discard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They're going to have to discard 2. Either way. Okay. Get nothing. Ritual Soot's cute. And let's just play Captive Audience. No attacks. Okay. I imagine they're gonna go to 4. Yeah. That seems like the likely one to start off when you're that low. Necrotic Wound. All right. Well, we're going to get a... We'll draw at the back, which can get us a Cinder Vines. Ooh, a Zani Thousand-Eyed. That's pretty good. Maybe instead of getting Muldrotha... Well, let's look in our graveyard. Yeah, we can only get Cindervines back from Muldrotha. Maybe we get Vraska Relic Seeker instead. I think that's probably it. And we can draw. Let's draw a card. That's not a bad one. Not a bad one at all when we can kill our opponent. Let's give this haste. Alright. Sometimes it's just that easy. Sometimes you just draw a card and you draw a 4/4 haste dragon. Sounds pretty good to me. Alright, game 2. This hand has a lot of ramp, but I'm cool with that. Threats will come. We got a little bit of early removal too. And everything's on 3, so... Twilight Prophet's not a bad one. Let's play a Rejuvenator now. Ooh, all sorts of options. So we need a green. Just something with green. We'll get the Gruul Guildgate. Got a lot of red mana. Midnight Reaper. That's going to go really nicely with our Lava Coil here. Okay, we should be able to Golgari lock it into Cindervines. Excellent. Cindervines. And then next turn we can play our Twilight Prophet. And that will give us the city's blessing. Many blessings on the city. You're like, why didn't you just play this? Well, I don't want my opponent to play a removal spell. And we cannot cast both of these. So we will just play the Prophet. As much as I would like to play the Route as well. We have the Blessing. Blessing of the city. Our opponent's light on lands here. Yep. No surprise. We do have an Arch of Vraska, but our opponent packs it in. Light on lands, and it's okay. We had a lot of mana. All right, we have. This is probably our loosest hand. We need some ramp here, but we have some removal and some threats at kind of every point in the curve, so we'll stick with it. These are good hands on the play or the draw. Okay, we'll get our Crater Maker in. Opponent plays a mountain. It could be something aggressive. I guess we'll find out. Perhaps not. Perhaps so. Electromancer. Well, first thing I'm going to do is attack. Give our opponent the chance to block. We're just going to go ahead and blow up the Electromancer. Happy to use removal spell plus 2 damage. And we'll pass the turn. We may try to we have 2 removal spells back to back with the statue status plus the Hellkite. Though I'm not opposed to waiting to putting a +1/+1 counter on this, waiting until I have 2 targets, and then giving it Death Touch, and then killing 2 larger creatures. That also lets it get around Lava Coil. Since this is our only threat, I would rather it be a little more dependable to stick around. If our opponent attacks, we're not blocking, of course. Fight with fire anyway. Okay, right on. Alright, well in that case, let's play a 5/5 with reach and trample. Our opponent did not attack. Opponent has a lot of mountains, not a lot of islands, which is what I'd like to see. Rekindling Phoenix. Alright. Ooh, the Haunt of Hightower. I do like the Haunt of Hightower. We'll attack first. Alright, we'll play the Haunt. Sweet animation. Brief, but, you know, gives you a sense of what's going on. So this is the Buy a Box promo. We have 2 in here. Excellent. Get a little bit bigger. Ooh, I like that. No blocks. Okay, now we have our own Phoenix. We definitely want to take out Ral. I think I want an Eldritch Reborn here. No, because then they'll sack their Phoenix. So I don't want Eldritch Reborn. Okay. I think the plan is attack them with this, attack Multani here, and we will we'll give this +1/+1. Assuming they don't block, which they won't. No blocks. Down goes Ral. I gain 5. Haunt gets bigger. And we'll make our own Phoenix. When you're trading Phoenixes, it's always better to do it on defense because I can block, and then if my opponent doesn't have a removal spell, it's just going to come back, and then we can attack. Haunt of Hightower is pretty great. It just keeps getting bigger. Just bigger and bigger and bigger. Opponent casts a spell, bigger. Creature dies, bigger. Activates a Planeswalker ability in the case of Ral, still bigger. Okay, so it looks like our opponent is roping us, but they're still there because they're kind of touching on our cards. Not a great practice. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Okay, so they Banefire Multani for 4. Yep. I think they wanted 5. Alright. Game 4, this is a solid hand. We have all our colors of mana, some ramp, more ramp, 2 threats, as well as a halfway removal spell. We saw the power of this card last game. I'm eager to run that back. Make sure it's as good as it looks. But I think that it is. Ooh, Benthic Biomancer, okay. Opponent could be getting a little aggressive. Okay. Looks like we're going to be doing some Merfolk action. Sounds good. So just to make sure that we don't miss, because we really want to be able to kick this Grove from the Ashes next turn, we're going to play the Locket. Even though the Rejuvenator can block, or at least threaten a block, Whether we actually are interested in doing that or not is irrelevant. So we're going to grow from the ashes. We're going to go to 5 to 7 next turn. If we hit a land, and in the following turn we go to 8, then we'll play Siege Gang and Rejuvenator. Otherwise, we'll just play the Honda Hightower. Okay. So we do have a land. Maybe I just want to play Siege Gang now. I actually think that I want to do that. In retrospect, getting 4 blockers into play, making it wildly inconvenient for our opponent to attack, and just threatening removal, I think is more where we want to be. Okay, if a non-token creature would enter the battlefield and it wasn't cast, exile it instead. All right. Interesting choice from our opponent here. I mean, presumably they have something to give their creatures plus, but we're going to put a flying lifelink creature into play, and against a blue-green deck, I think that's probably a pretty good proposition. You have Essence Scatter here? No, they don't. Okay, well, let's see what they got then. They have something. Maybe, I imagine they have... Okay, so they have Bounce Spell. Okay. Well, we're not going to attack. We're probably going to keep putting Honda Hightower in play until our opponent decides they can't deal with it. Okay. So opponent's going to get in for 9 damage. Not bad. Okay. If they have that again, then we lose. And of course, you're like, well, they have it again. Well, they could, you know, they could clone it. Or what have you. Who knows? I'm just saying they could do it. It's not out of the question. Blanchwood armor. Okay. Interesting. So we can chump. And then... So we're gonna... I think we're gonna take 3, but we're not gonna take 5. And then sacrifice these 2 to get 2 other creatures. Yeah, I think that's what we want to do. We got a 5. We're gonna gain some life back. Oh boy. Okay. Well, in retrospect, we're just gonna cast this. And we're gonna give our Honda Hightower 2 counters. Siege Commander's not gonna do much, but I don't know if it's gonna matter. A lot of cards are gonna go to our opponent's graveyard, yeah. Okay, well, I think that's probably gonna do it. Oh, and our opponent pitches Carnage Tyrant. Okay, we have exactly a 12/12 for their 12 life. Awesome. Alright. Honda Hightower does it again. Great animation too, by the way. When they discard a card. Beautiful. End at 25, just like we drew it up. Alright, game 5. Well, we have the Mana Rock on 3. We're on the play. We have removal, ramp, and a threat. This is the Jund lifestyle. So we're gonna keep Junding it up until it seems like we shouldn't anymore. Opt. Powerful play from our opponent. On the bottom, which I have to imagine they're looking for a land. Okay, let's see if this Chromatic Lantern resolves. I'd really like it to, but there's no guarantee. It does not. Syncopate for 1. Okay, well, now we do need a land. And we do. We hit a land. Untapped land at that. Okay. This one should resolve unless our opponent has a negate. Oh, no, they have 2 blue. They could have anything. Could have anything. They do have negate. Okay. Well, in that case, we just gotta draw lands the hard way. Our opponent looking for lands too. I imagine there's gonna be a nickel bola sometime in our future. Whether it's now or in the far future. Who's to say, but... Alright. We'll run out this Twilight Prophet. We're just gonna keep throwing out threats and see if they stick. Okay, so this resolved, which means it's gonna get removed. Blink of an eye? Yep. Now there's an eye on it. After it was blinked by the eye, there is an eye. Okay. Now there's eyes on all of them. Probably Eldritch Reborn? Yeah. Yeah, Eldritch Reborn, that's a powerful card. Ooh. If we can... I'm just going to try to resolve this Vivian. I feel like there's a... Ooh, resolves. Okay.
Would you like to see what's left of Skull?
Happy with a land or a creature. Probably would like a land more so than a creature. Oh, that's a good creature, though. We have 2 red. Yeah, no, take the creature. That's a good one. That one's too good to pass up. So, 6 mana. Not sure what our opponent could have for 6. Some big counterspell? They're doing it during our opponent's turn. Dream Eater? Are they bouncing Vivian? It's interesting. I mean, we're going to replay Vivian and then just destroy Dream Eater. I guess it's a tempo play from our opponent, but yeah, they have to bounce Vivian, because if they don't, then we have Vivian. Yeah, resolves. So now we want a Rakdos Guildgate or Cinder Barons as our draw. Palaka Worm, that's like the next best thing. Okay, well, we'll play Vivian. And we will destroy the Dream Eater.
Feel the wrath of Skala.
Ooh, Eldritch Reborn. Okay. It's cute. Okay, there's a Blood Crypt. We're just going to play this Hellkite. I'm going to give it a +1/+1 counter to avoid Lava Coil. Opponent can still fight with fire like they did last time. We're going to pitch Multani. Just because we can get Multani back. Beacon Bolt? Okay. Missed out on 4 damage. Okay. Well, we'll play the Worm. We'll try to play on curve as much as possible. There's also something that Twilight Prophet does die to Vivian, which I think is likely that our opponent returns. Perhaps it's Dream Eater, though I think Vivian makes the most sense. Planeswalkers generally make more sense with Eldritch Reborn. You just have to... The card grinds you out so much. It's a 2-for-1, and then it gets the best thing from the entire exchange. Okay, opponent's going to go with the Hellkite. Because of a sweet animation, maybe that's what they're going for. Would not be able to blame them. Haste, okay. Getting the damage that we did not. Okay, so we're going to have Lava Coil paired with Beacon Bolt here. Or Lightning Strike, interesting. Okay. So I don't quite want to grow from the ashes, so I think the first thing that we're going to do is fight with fire. Yep. And then we're going to Twilight Prophet. And of course we don't have the City's Blessing yet. Cast down, okay. Opponent really holding on to this Beacon Bolt for Multani. Okay, so now we can go lock it into Grow from the Ashes. I suppose our opponent could counter it, but I can't imagine this is the best use of their counterspell. Oh, they're copying it. That's pretty good. Nice job, opponent. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 black, 1, 2, 3 red, 1, 2, 3, 4 green. We need more green, so we get a green and a red. We'll bounce green and black. We'll return Multani and green 1, 2, 3, 4. Black is 1, 2, 3. Okay. Play Swamp back out just in case we get hit with the bolus. I'm still on the lookout for old Nickel B. And Graph, okay.
Never seen water, no fire.
All right.
No steam.
Pitch this forest. And what's Assassin's Trophy? Do we want an Assassin's Trophy? Yeah. Yeah, we'll trophy the Angrath.
Make all sail for high and dry.
Opponent still has 2 cards. Okay. Let's try to resolve this Multani. Okay, this is 9. Let's make it 10. Chemistry's Insight. Okay, that makes this 10. But if they don't exile, it's just going to come back next turn. Okay, there's Beacon Bolt. Moment of Craving. Yeah, that one's probably not good. Yeah, sure. There's the bolus. Okay, so need a removal spell. Return Swamp and Forest. Raging Raptor's not exactly a removal spell, I would say. We will play it out, though. So this deals 10 damage. Maybe our opponent would accidentally attack with it. No, no such luck. Okay. So they can get a creature or a planeswalker. Though, I don't think that there's any creatures that will successfully block and live to tell about it. Vivian Reed's not going to do a ton. Angrath's not really going to do a ton. Dream Eater's probably good. They should get that one. I don't want them to, but that's probably what they should do. Okay. Instead just bashes the Multani. It's understandable. So we are going to fight Bolus just so he can't, you know, do something crazy and get... Okay, we'll return these two. We'll play our forest back out, play Multani. So opponent draws 2 here, is their only option. Bolus goes to 4, but opponent goes to 5 cards in their hand. Okay, opponent's going to go to 6 cards in their hand with a choice. Okay, so they bend a Sinister Sabotage. So they're really looking for a way to handle this Multani. Doom Whisperer doesn't exactly do it. Well, that's good too. I think we do want to hold the Bedevil though. And if our opponent wants to eat the raptors, then, you know, so be it. And they do. Totally fine with that. Think we have 1 more basic land? We have 4 more. Okay, good. We got a mountain. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We'd still have 4 mana left up. If we lock it, I think we'll do that at end of turn. Chemist's Insight. Okay. Opponent has a lot of cards in hand, but this Multani is proving very difficult for them to deal with. And no doubt they have a Vraska's Contempt somewhere in their deck, but they might not have it yet. And even if they do go to Contempt now, we'll just Bedevil it. Bedevil our own Multani to kind of deal with it. Attack us to 6. Attack us 4/6. Not 2/6. That would be much scarier. It's our life total. Okay, couple of lands. A lot of lands. Well, we can at least play this Arc. It's better to draw them now than draw them later. Okay, well, if we Arc, we'll be left with 4. Yeah, let's see if we can find something. Captive Audience. That's not a bad one. Your opponent's going to go Surveilling. Which they can only do 1 more time. So they only bend once. They kept 1 thing on top. Presumably is a way to deal with this Multani. Okay, there's the Contempt. Yes. Yeah. I'm glad it asked. It's like, in case you target your own creature. I think they're going to counter the Bedevil. Ionize. Okay. So we take 2, they gain 2. We do have some creatures in here. Namely, Skargan Hellkite. Ooh, Cindervines is not bad. Okay, so let's Cindervines. Get out of here with this. Captive Audience. They're going to go to 4. Of course. But, see, if they were smart, And it's not, maybe not smart. If they were clever, they could have surveilled. Okay, so they're gonna give us some zombies, presumably that they have a way to interact with. Okay, we're at 1. Ritual of Soot. Okay. Zombies go away. If they don't have a counterspell, we are going to get back this Hellkite and haste them. Oh, Essence Scatter. That's no good. I think we're dead. We'll play this and just in case. Maybe do something crazy like Surveil. Okay, they discard their hand. Well, the life is going to become 4. Okay. Do something before attacking us. Oh, no. Alright. We're going to lose this one so close. So close. So very close. Okay, the final game. Now, this one I'm actually going to mulligan just because we have 2 6-drops. The removal we can't play. We have 6 and 7. This one is a little bit better. I think we have to keep the Lava Coil in the event that we are playing against an aggressive deck. I don't want to, obviously, but I would rather find some sort of ramp. And blue-green could be anything. Blue-green could be creatures. I guess we're going to find out this turn. Could be ramp. Okay. Looks like it is going to be fishies. Okay. I don't think I want to Lava Coil this, so we'll just play Cinder Vines now. We're going to hope that we can get to this Rakdos the Showstopper. That's going to be the goal. Pass. Take 3. So, Thundershoot Dryad's not bad. So, I think we are going to be forced to... We're going to Lava Coil only because we can better block the Adept, even though we're going to take some more damage in the short term. Alright. We need a land or a removal spell. The problem is we have a lot of 6-drops in our deck. So we're not free and clear of drawing one of those. Ritual of Soot would be great. Ritual of Soot would be particularly great. Okay. Let's unlock it. This makes us potentially live for Rakdos next turn, but in the meantime, we're going to take at least 8 going to 6. Ritual Soot would have been the KO there. Ooh. Alright, we need a sweeper. We need Ritual of Soot or an untapped land. I have a feeling we're going to get a tapped land. We got a bunch of those in our deck. About 5 more. Okay. Doesn't change the clock. We're still dead next turn. Come on. Come on. Come on. Skargan Hellkite. That's not what we want. That's not what we want. We're pretty much dead. I think we have to chump with... Now we're dead, actually. If our opponent attacks us with all of their creatures. Can we not die and then draw land and then Rakdos? Oh, our opponent takes 1. That's good. Okay. Well, we're dead, unfortunately, unless our opponent gets... We're not going to let Commander hit us, though. Unless our opponent gets Froggy, but they're Fishy instead, so... We're going to die not getting Galta and a Heartbreaker. Well, I'll get my 5th Duress instead. Little disappointing, but hope you guys enjoyed Jund. This is a deck that I quite enjoyed playing. Obviously, this is like solidly in my wheelhouse. Just a really mid-rangey deck. Looks like a really good... The standard version looks like a pretty fun commander deck, and I've enjoyed playing it. I only played it... This is only the second queue that I've played it in, but I liked playing it both times, so... Hopefully you guys enjoyed Singleton and got to play some of that when it was on Arena over the weekend, but I'm sure it will come back before too long. Thank you guys again for watching. If you want to subscribe to the channel, please do so here and leave a comment, a share, and a like as well. And of course, if you want to listen to the Thinktwice podcast, go to Thinktwice, search Thinktwice MTG on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, and Spotify. Support the podcast by going to patreon.com/ThinktwiceMTG. Another Singleton coming up in just a few days. Check back. We'll see you guys then.